Shishima Bhaktivedanta Bhavan Goswami Maharaj
Ki Jai.
It's very auspicious Tithi today. As we all know, appearance of Shri Bhaktivedanta Bhavan Goswami Maharaj, to whom Srila Gurudeva used to address his my Shiksha Guru. Can you imagine it? And Srila Bhaktivedanta Bhavan Goswami Maharaj used to regard and respect Gurudeva so much. We're going to hear tonight so many glories of Gurudeva and Srila Bhavan Goswami Maharaj from so many Vaishnavas. So since we are waiting for so many more devotees to come, and the program already began, we are singing the glories of Gurudeva. Just now, she sang Guru Ashtakam, in which we heard the definition of Maun Vrata. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, his description of words and sentences of what is prevailing in the world was totally different. Many people observe Maun Vrata, the vow of silence. So they don't speak at all for weeks, for months, and some years to get some perfection. And they think this is the best way of performing sadhana, to be away from material talks. But Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said this is not the ideal meaning of vow of silence, Maun Vrata. What is a vow of silence? He said, one who 24 hours in a day and night only speaking about Krishna, actually this is the meaning of vow of silence. You know? 24 hours a day. It's very easy to be quiet. But it's very difficult to always speak about Krishna 24 hours. So that's why we've seen and we heard all of our acharyas, they were very talkative. Our Srila Gurudeva very talkative. Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, very talkative. What is the meaning talkative here? What they're talking about day and night. This is what Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur describing. Shri Radhika Madhavera Rapara Madhurya Leela Guna Rupa Namna Pratikshana Shvadana Lolupasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. One who is always and always. And actually, this is the title of the founder Acharya of ISKCON, Swami Prabhupada. A.C. Bhaktivedanta. A.C. means always chanting. One is always speaking, very talkative. But talking about what? The name, form, qualities, pastimes, and the glories of the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Radha Krishna. So we see in Srila Gurudev's, those who stayed with him, actually, they know how in Gurudev, from morning to night, what he's speaking about. Chanting, always chanting. Even if he's speaking any ordinary talk, but that has so much relevance and significance, relating that to the pastimes of Krishna, the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You know? This is Guru Ashtakam, one who always speaks about Krishna and inspire everyone to always speak about Krishna. So Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. All the acharyas, they were poets. Janmadasya yataha anvayat itirishtarthishu abhijna swarat tene brahmhidne adi kavya muyanti yasura. They all are kavi, poet. Srila Gurudev, he composed a very beautiful song in Hindi for those who Hindi-speaking audience. Brajajana Manu Sukhakari Radhe Sham Sham Sham, in which Gurudev infuses all his moods and potency. And many sanghas, they sing this bhajan remembering Srila Gurudev. So, we like to hear this song by Haripriya singing this bhajan, Brajajana Manu Sukhakari Radhe Sham Sham Sham. So this session, this program tonight going to be Kirtan and Katha, Kirtan and Katha. So everyone will get opportunity to sing or speak something. Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji, bring.
Shira hai Brajajana Mana Sukhakari Radhe Shama Shama Shama. Shira hai Brajajana Mana Sukhakari Radhe Shama Shama Shama.
शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। गौरसचरितरामितनिधि गौरं सर्वं स्तुवे गौरेण प्रतितं रस्य भजनं गौरं सर्वं ददे। गौरस्य कृपालिरात्रिनपरो गौरस्य भृत्य सभवां गौर गौरमचरामि भगवान् गौर प्रभु रक्ष माम्। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपीकांत राधाकांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। भक्त्या विहीनाय पराधलक्ष्ये क्षिप्तस्य कामादितरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयि तं शरणं प्रपन्ना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम्। यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनविरह कातुराजुवाह पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तर्वो विनेदुस्तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। All together. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare। Loudly, one more time. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare। My humble obeisances at the lotus feet of my spiritual master Nitla Vishnu Vishnu Par Stotrasha Shri Srimad Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, and similarly to my Shiksha Gurudevs Nitla Vishnu Vishnu Par Stotrasha Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, whose divine disappearance day is being celebrated every village, town, city of the entire globe. And similarly to my Shiksha Gurudev Nitla Vishnu Vishnu Par Stotrasha Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Vamana Goswami Maharaj, whose divine appearance day is also being celebrated everywhere in the entire world. Unto Shri Srimad Bhakti Vigyan Srimad Bharati Goswami Maharaj and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada and all his associates, Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyana Keshav Goswami Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhakti Raksha Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhakti Daita Madhav Goswami Maharaj, and Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. To all associates of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ji and his associates, to all assembled Vaishnava and Vaishnavis, headed by Rasikanand Maharaj. So, welcome everyone to hear the glories of our Srila Gurudev. Many distinguished speakers, they are going to speak Guru Tattva and Gurudev glories. The glories of Gurudev has no limits, it's endless. The glories of Srila Gurudev is known by entire world. Gurudev used to say this many times in his lectures, and many times when we were in his room and getting some dictations, working publication. Once upon a time we asked Srila Gurudev, this Hindi Patrika, the magazine, Gaudiya the Patrika, Bhagavad Patrika, and the books which we are working under your shelter, under your guidance, is very Kalisht Hindi, means very refined, high class Hindi. If you allow us, can we make it simple for audience, those who are going to read this? And we thought Gurudev was going to say yes, but he said no. No. We requested him because we are getting this feedback. It's so difficult to read Jav Dharma, it's so difficult to read Bhagavad Patrika, all articles, very high class Hindi, the words they are like almost near to Sanskrit. So, and actually this is true. If you read Jav Dharma Hindi, my goodness, the Hindi there is not simple Hindi. So it's so difficult. So can we simplify this? Gurudev said not at all. This is for a very particular section of people. Those who have crossed high school and they are in university and they are doing PhD. These books are for them. Then we ask Gurudev how, then general people in masses, how they are going to understand that. And Srila Gurudev said for that, they need a teacher. So I am preparing all of you to become teachers and to teach the masses. And he became very grave and he said, Guru never make anyone disciple or servant. Guru always make everyone Guru. When I am teaching you, when I am training you, I am not considering you as my servants. I am making you Gurus. Guru means not one who is very much high in knowledge, but one who is very high in realization and adopting that knowledge. So Gurudev said, no way. Because these are the books of the Goswamis. And if you make them simple, it will lose its gravity. So just maintain life as it is. So, in his room, couple of occasions Gurudev said this, and in lectures also he has told this. And that's why the books of Srila Gurudev is actually the asset of Srila Gurudev, publication. As we hear many times, Gurudev said parikrama, publication and preaching. But one more, along with these 3 P's, 1/4 P is very important, practice. Practicing. Parikrama, he says parikrama, publishing, preaching, and then practicing this. 4 P's. 4 principles, very important. 5 P's. This is a principle. And we see Srila Gurudev's life history. He gave so much emphasis and so much endeavors in performing those parikramas. Navdeep Parikrama and Kartik Parikrama. Even though, you see, this is a speciality of Srila Gurudev. We have seen many acharyas, and if we read the biography of Param Gurudev, written by Srila Gurudev, if you read that biography, Param Gurudev, Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, he used to observe Kartik Vrata. Can you imagine Kartik Vrata? Sometimes in Ayodhya, sometimes in Badridham, sometimes in Dwarka Dham, sometimes in Jagannath Puri, and sometimes in Naimisharanya for 2 weeks, for 3 weeks. Kartik Parikrama in Ayodhya, in Naimisharanya, in Badridham, in Dwarka Dham. But Srila Gurudev always observed Kartik Vrata where? In Brajmandal. It's not that he is crossing over his Guru Maharaj, this very gross way of understanding. Therefore, we should not apply our short brain and gross intelligence in understanding the mood of Srila Gurudev. It's very easy to claim, oh, I understood the mood of Gurudev. How you understood the mood of Gurudev? Just by hearing his lectures, just by reading the books. Yes, true, we can understand, no doubt. But sometimes, oh, Bhumipati Prabhu, please come forward. Please come. Now, grab one chair, please. One chair. Sorry, I was speaking at you, sorry. But in the lectures, we have seen Gurudev is speaking sometime, the time, place and circumstance. Who's sitting in the audience? What is the situation? What is the circumstances? Please come. Okay. There are some general instructions, means universal instructions, and there are some specific instructions. So many disciples of Srila Gurudev, they received specific instruction. But there are many disciples who received a universal instruction. Everyone should come parikrama. That's not for specific person. That's universal. Everyone should follow principles. That's universal. But he did give specific instructions to many of his brahmacharis, grastas, sannyasis, vanprasthas. Many. So, to understand the mood of Acharya, to understand the mood of Gurudev, it is very important to hold that gravity and the subtle vision. It won't work with the gross vision or the gross understanding. Someone can say, oh, I heard Gurudev once in Kartik, he said this. So once you heard this, and that's the conclusion? No. You have to understand to whom he was addressing, what was the situation. Just like I was hearing one lecture this morning, what he describing. Gurudev was describing very high mood of Radharani. But then, seeing some brahmacharis there, he said, you see, I'm here to give very high moods, but I have to resolve the problems. The brahmacharis having quarrel. Is this the purpose I'm here? I want to deliver very high mood and very good message. And I'm here to just resolve these problems. Few quarrels only. You made me bring from that platform to this platform. And any person hearing this can say, oh, you see, Gurudev didn't like this idea of resolving problems. But by staying with Gurudev, personal experience, he was actually solving, because Gurudev said, this is my seva. Because it's not the disciple who serves Guru, it's Guru who serves disciple. It's the parents who take care of children and serve the children. It looks like disciple serving Gurudev, but from the very top level we see actually it's Gurudev who serves disciple. First of all, giving birth of bhakti in the heart of disciple, just like parents give birth, and then nourishing that bhakti and cutting those weeds which are growing along with bhakti. So in the true sense, it's actually Guru who serves disciple. So tonight we're going to hear so many of these memories. I will going to speak, Maharaj is going to speak. Now my senior Bhumipati Prabhu is also here, Dr. Pandey is also here. So So I'm not taking much time. I'm also very talkative. I want to control myself here. First of all, I like to invite Dr. Kumar to please come and speak some glories of Gurudev. Can you bring one more chair, Prabhu?
You have one, so Maharaj, you can sit here.
Tithi, Prabhu. If you don't mind, if you bring the chair this side, because the speaker can come.
Oh, okay.
The speaker can come up, yes. So can face the audience. Do we have another mic or this?
Yes. Yashoda. You keep that, Maharaj.
ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। वृन्दाय तुलसीदेवी हरिहरे केशवस्य कृष्णभक्ति प्रदेवी सत्यवते नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे। I don't think I'm qualified by that. Shanti Maharaj gave me the opportunity, but on Tirobhava, Tithi of Srila Gurudeva Maharaj, I will like to definitely say something about Gurudev, how I got the opportunity, how Gurudev. I mean, all these years living in India, no doubt we have 33 million Devi Devatas. We were already doing the puja to Mata Rani, Durga, Hanuman, Ram, Krishna. But living in America, first time I learned that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because Krishna is the only one said in Gita, I am Bhagavan, Swayambhu Krishna. But to reach Krishna, I don't think it's that easy. To reach Krishna, either we have to go through Radharani, I have to go through Balaram Krishna, Guru Tattva. But to reach through Radharani, to Balaram, to Krishna, still we need some qualified, bona fide Gurudev. And even when Krishna came on the earth, doesn't matter he came in the form of the Rama, his Gurudev is Guru Vishishta. Krishna himself has his Gurudev, Sandipni Guru. To cut short everybody, to reach Krishna, we need some Gurudev. And I think I'm very lucky that Gurudev Narayan Maharaj, how he came in my life, I was not even aware of Gurudev Narayan Maharaj. We were already going to ISKCON temples, and all I remember, now I will definitely like to tell how Gurudev Narayan Maharaj came in my life. Wherever in ISKCON temple we were going, I was begging Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet, please give me some Gurudev like you. And first time in Tompkins Care Park, where Srila Prabhupada started this movement. We were living there in the temple on the Clinton Street. Kupindra Swami asked me, Srila Prabhupada, you know Prabhu who is this? And I'm sorry to say, at that time, I'm talking about in 90, I think it's 95, 93, I said, sorry, I don't know. So I learned from ISKCON devotees what is the value of Gurudev. Everywhere, going to the each and every temple, I'm just begging the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, please give me some Gurudev like you. I have no idea that Srila Prabhupada's mercy that he gave his own brother, God brother, Srila Gurudev Narayan Maharaj. How Gurudev Narayan Maharaj came into my life, I don't want to do that long, but most of the times I have already told these stories that he came in my dreams. And he was in New York one day before he came in my dreams, and I attended in Staten Island, and then next day Dr. Pandey's house we got initiated by Srila Gurudev Narayan Maharaj. Gurudev Narayan Maharaj gave us Shiksha, Harina. This Japmala is given by Gurudev Narayan Maharaj. I was so lucky that time, first time, I think Dandi Maharaj, Brajnath Prabhu, Madhav Maharaj, when they gave, Madhav Maharaj announced our name. I said, we want to listen the name from the Srila Gurudev. Then Gurudev called us, me and my wife. They gave me the name Radhanath Das, and my wife, they gave me the name Radha Priya. So I'm so lucky that I got the association first time of Srila Gurudev Narayan Maharaj in Dr. Pandey's house. And it's not finished over there yet. Gurudev's mercy is, can you believe, how do I went to Kartik Mas, Brahmandal Parma. Gurudev called me. I never even living in India went to the Vrindavan doing Parikrama. In Kartik Mas, we booked the ticket, I went there and I stayed there in Roopsnath and Gaudiya Math with Gurudev. At least 3 weeks we were doing daily Brahmandal Parikrama. Every day we got the chance to garland Gurudev, to touch their feet. And then I called my wife here. She didn't go with me, but then she called, take the Charnapadika. And I'm so lucky that I got the Charnapadika. One pair I got 2 pairs. One pair I got to Gurudev, the second pair they gave me. And they stand on there, I touch their feet, I garlanded them, whatever the donation I could give. And what we can give to Gurudev, we just give some few dollars, but you see what he has given us, I can never forget. So whatever I am today, only because of the mercy of Gurudev Narayan Maharaj. This is Gurudev's mercy that we are able to do.
Kumar, when you address Gurudev, it should be Sri Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami.
Yeah.
Not
Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupada Shrutta Srimad Bhaktivedanta Gurudev Narayan Maharaj.
Narayan Goswami Maharaj.
Narayan Goswami Maharaj. So this is a mercy. So how merciful is Gurudev? Not only he gave me darshan, he gave me the chance to welcome them, he gave me the chance to garland them every day. And every day we are early in the morning when Gurudev came from the ashram, we touch their feet, we garland them, we attended their class, and then with the Madhav Maharaj, Dandi Maharaj, Ban Maharaj, Ashram Maharaj, attending the, and the Gurudev, I think few classes we attended, one at somebody's home, one at I think in Brahmghat, and one class where the where Indradev, I think was Surbikund. So I remember, I'm just trying to remember wherever I attended the classes of Srila Gurudev, then in Brahmandal Parikrama, then in Govardhan. So we are so lucky that we have the association of Gurudev Narayan Maharaj. I cannot never got that opportunity to miss all those. But we can. So my Pushpanjali on this Tirobhava Tithi is only to remember the Gurudev's mercy. So even Gurudev's, so many other, I remember the moments, but to cut short that I don't want to delay that long. So we are lucky, at least we have the association of Gurudev, and this is their mercy that we could perform in Harina. Vanchakal Putravesh Kripa Sindhuvesh Bhaktanam Pamani Devash.
Pavitra Devi, come. राजीव कहाँ है? राजीव
पार्किंग में कार ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. I offer my humble obeisances up to the lotus feet of Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj and all the Vaishnava and Vaishnavis present here. My journey towards meeting Narayan Maharaj started when I was in college. At that time I was introduced to ISKCON. Basically, like everybody, went to the temple only because it made me very happy to see Radha and Krishna deities, then eating prasadam there. I loved it a lot. And then I used to read Srila Prabhupada's books a lot. A few of the books which I read was The Science of Self-Realization and Journey to Other Planets, and then the teachings of Queen Kunti, these things, those were the basic things that I read. But at that time, I used to read the Bhagavad Gita also, and most of the time it would always say Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That time I would always think, if He's the Supreme, once you realize that, you get some kind of fear in your heart. He's the Supreme. I know He's the Supreme, but they would say like, there is no necessity for you to worship other demigods. Krishna is the Supreme. But that love and that attachment does not come when you realize He's the Supreme. It's more like a fear. He's the Supreme, I should not do any offenses. That kind of thought and mood was there that time. But I had a lot of questions in my mind. That time I didn't know whom to ask. As a kid, I was very shy. Even in school, I would never open up and talk to my teachers, even if I had any questions. And even at that time, when I would read the books, I would always think, why Radha and Krishna did not get married? That was one question I had. The other question I had was, why did it take 16 years for me to come to the temple and start reading? Why is that I didn't do it when I was a kid? I was not born in a Brahmin family. And we were not praying Radha and Krishna at that time. We were praying Venkateshwara at that time. Then I had so many questions. Why? For so many years, I did not get the association of devotees. Why? What did I do? Like, it always said, in that, if you think about God at the time of death, you'll go to Him. So sure, definitely I didn't think about God in my last birth. That's why I'm still here. Then I used to think, oh, I did not do much. That's why I didn't get the service from, as a child. I had to wait for 16 years. And I was not happy. Why am I not in a Brahmin family? I used to go and ask my mother, why you did not follow like that? Why you didn't raise me like that? Now that, and I read somewhere that you all like promise that I'll be your devotee. That's when you come out of the mother's womb and you take birth. I have promised him, right? But I waited for 16 years. Why it didn't happen immediately? All these questions were there in my mind. But I didn't know whom to go ask. And I was like, now that I have it in my mind, maybe it's time for me to give up everything and become like totally into Krishna consciousness and all those things. But you know how it is for a girl. You're not supposed to like leave the house and all those things. So I was restricted at that time. And I was always asking, if I was a boy, I would have definitely gone. I would have become a brahmachari, I would have gone. And that's when my mom started crying so much. She started crying and she said, you will get the opportunity, don't worry. He knows what is there in your heart, what you're feeling, how much sincere you're going to be. And I would go and ask her, why do I have to eat onion and garlic? See, they're saying it's not good in the scriptures. And I would think, okay, from today, I'll read only whatever Krishna likes. He likes milk and milk products. So I'm going to eat only milk and milk products, curd rice. I gave up a few things for some time. But I was asking my mother, who is my guru? I want a guru. Everybody is following things under the guru, their guru. But I want to follow. I want some guru. I want it. I'm very sincere. Mommy, will you pray for me that I should get a nice guru and I should be under his guidance and lead my life accordingly so that my next generation will be nice and things like that. At that time, I was not very sincere about why the main thing we have to follow and why we have to pray Krishna. All those things were not there in my mind. I was just like, I got the opportunity, I should not leave it and I should not forget Krishna. That was there in my mind for some time. And then after I got married, I met Gurudeva. And then I thought in my heart, okay, I'll try to give up everything and not eat onion and garlic and all those things, and I'll try to follow things. If he is my guru, then definitely he'll initiate me. Then he gave me initiation, and then he named me Prem Lata. And I was thinking, why Prem Lata? Like, it should start with Radha or something like that. It would be nice. All those things were there in my mind at that time. But I never spoke openly or went and had one-on-one conversation with Gurudeva or anything like that. He always knew what I had in my mind, what I had in my heart. And sometimes I would feel very bad. He used to ask me to chant 16 rounds, and I told Guru Maharaj, I sometimes I chant, but sometimes I cannot. He said, don't worry, I'll help you. I'll help you chant. Think about me. Read my books. And then try to serve how much ever you want. Be attached to me and my books. I will help you how much ever. That's what is happening. He's the one who is helping me in every part of my life. Like, every silly thing, I depend on him. Even if it's like buying a house, buying a car, or even when I had to send my kid to college, I totally depended on his decisions. Previously, I used to put chits in front of God and pick one.
That's typical Indian style.
Yeah, and then think that, okay, it's his way of telling me to follow this, so I have to follow it. Because I was not talking much with him. I only know him in the form of his books, his devotees, my god brothers, what all they talk about him. That's all I have learned. And he's the only one who helps me in and out. Like, whatever I am today, it's all because of his mercy. And if there's any faults in me, it's all because of me only. If you see anything good in me, it's because of his mercy. So I pray that he keeps showering his mercy to us. And how much ever I speak about him, how much ever I praise about him, it's never going to be enough. Like, I don't have words at all to show my gratitude. And it's never, like, I cannot repay him, for sure. It's not possible in this lifetime or millions of lifetimes. I will always try to follow his instructions, try to associate with all his devotees, all his disciples, my god brothers. I need your mercy to progress in bhakti. Hari Bol.
So beautifully said by Dr. Kumar and Pavitra Didi, beautifully described the glories of Gurudev, and she said we are eternally indebted and actually we don't want to repay. Repaying debt means it's over. We don't want to get this over. We always want this relationship. Chakshudan Lilajai Janme Janme Prabhuji. May Gurudev, may you become my Guru, birth after birth. As many births I will take, I want you to be as my Gurudev. So very beautifully described, not taking much time. We have many speakers tonight here. I would like to call upon Dr. Pandey, Mataji. Please come. And make everyone
10 minutes? 5 minutes?
I think 3 minutes is enough.
It will take me to come and go. Om Agyantimirandhasya Jnananjan Salakaya Chakshurnamiltam Yen Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Guruve Gaurchandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaye Tadbhaktaye Namo Namah. Vancha Kaltaruvasya Kripa Sindhu Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnebhyo Namo Namah. हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये वृंदाय तुलसी देवी प्रियाय केशवस्य च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवते नमो नमः हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. First of all, I offer my heartfelt obeisance to my beloved Gurudev, Nitya Leela Pravist, Om Vishnu Pad, Astotar Sat, Sri Srimad Bhakti Vedant Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and to all Guru Parampara, Bhakti Siddhanti Maharaj, Bhakti Vedant Siddhanti Maharaj, and Bhakti Vedant Rashikanand Maharaj, to all the senior devotees present here, Vaishnav and Vaishnavij. So, today is the appearance and disappearance day of two Mahabhagavat. So, what is the difference between disappearance and appearance day? In a spiritual realm, it is the same because both the day we are trying to glorify whosoever their disappearance and appearance day is there. So, disappearance looks like it is sadness, but it is not the sadness. It is more pleasurable day because the person who has disappeared from this material world, he was already an internal associate of Radha and Krishna. By his causeless mercy, he came to this world to help the conditioned soul. And after doing his work, he has gone to his own home and helping Yugal Kishore, for which we all are trying and doing all kind of sadhana under the guidance of Guru. So both the day is same for me. And I think it is for everybody too. So today, like everyone is talking about Guru Tattva. And first I want to know why we have to have Guru. There must be some reason, and then everyone is saying, oh, we have to go back to from wherever we have come. So then why we came here? What was the reason of coming? So these two questions, unless or until we do not know, it is very difficult to understand the Guru Tattva. So why we are here? We are here because we are part and parcel of Lord, and our constitutional position is to serve Lord. But we became disobedient, and we thought that time we do not want to serve Lord, we want to go and enjoy away from Krishna. Krishna is very merciful, and as soon as we thought in that way, then we have been given by his external energy, Maya, two kinds of jail. One is the subtle body and one is the gross body, and in that Jivatma is there. So the nature of the thing is that from whatever constituent position you are made of, you are going to go and merge in that. You cannot stay away from that for long time. Like our gross body is made up of 5 things, like air, water, ether, sky, and when we are alive, still we have air, we have fire, we have water in our body, and once we die, again we merge in all these 5 things. What about Jivatma? Jivatma is, their food is not the food what we give it to the gross body. Their food is Harikatha. They are part and parcel of their Satchit Anand in a very Anu form. So unless or until we do not get attached to from where we have come, we will be keep moving in the cycle of birth and death. So how we can go there? If we are keep moving, to cut this cycle, to understand that how we can get attached to the Lord, from which part we are, we need a Guru. And we need Guru from Guru Parampara, the one who is coming in a Parampara like disciplic succession, because other Gurus may make you away from the material condition, but if you are not getting attached where you want to go, which is your place, whom you want to serve, then it is all useless. So it's very important that when we make Guru in our life, then it should be Sadguru and Guru from the disciplic succession. So it's very difficult to recognize Guru when you are in conditioned state. At that time, by the association of Vaishnava, like all this definition or all whatever I am saying, it's all from Gurudeva lecture or the lecture from the Maharaj or senior disciple. It's nothing from my own I am speaking. Guru Tattva also I understand because little bit whatever I understood by listening the lecture of Gurudev and hearing from others. So naturally, Sadguru definition, I do want to tell, to remind myself, I got Sadguru and most of the people here also got the Sadguru, but we have to always remember this, that if we are preaching also somebody, as Maharaj was saying, 5 P's are important, so the preaching is one of them. So unless until we do not know what is Sadguru, we cannot preach anybody. Sadguru should be the one who is well versed in Shastra. And follows the Shastra too. Not only knowledge, but realization of that is very, very important. Then he can dispel any doubt of his disciple, giving evidence from the Shastra. He should be niskinchan, means he has no attachment with material things. He is always serving Lord and always taking the name of the Lord and even telling her disciples or guiding the disciple to take the Harinam. So, like Guru is, who is Guru? Guru is Shakti of Krishna. The Karuna Shakti of Krishna comes in the form of Guru. And as we know that, we always say that Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva, Maheshwara. So in what way Guru is Brahma, Guru is Vishnu, and Guru is Mahesh too? Brahma's job is to do creation. And Guru is, by giving the Bhakti Lata bead in the heart of disciple, he is trying to do the creation of the Bhakti. Then Guru is Vishnu too, by his teaching, by his books, by his guidance, he is trying to nourish that our Bhakti or helping in the beach to sprout and become a creeper. So in that way he is nourishing too. And how he is Maheshwar, Mahesh, he is also taking out the weeds. Like whenever we go from this direction to that direction during the path of bhakti, during the process of bhakti, then he tells us that okay, this is not right, so he is pulling the weeds out too. So, and without the mercy of Guru, we will never be able to get or to understand what Krishna is. We are always praying in Guru Ashtakam, Yasya prasada, Bhagavad prasada, Yasya prasad, aprasada, nagati kuto api. Without the mercy of Guru, if the mercy of Guru is there with us, then we have everything. If the mercy of Guru is not there with us, then it is very difficult to come out of this material world. And Gurudev also, when he comes, we found a Guru, but what the disciple has to do? So Guru Pad Asray, the first thing the disciple has to do is do the Guru Pad Asray. Surrender to Gurudev. Surrender means you do not have to literally bow down, like you have to bow down, but give your ear at least to Guru first. And listen to Guru Mukha Padma Baka Chittate Kariyayeka. So whatever the Guru is giving you instruction, so try to put it in your heart, because we can put it in the brain, but it is only the knowledge will come. We will not get attached. We will not be able to understand what Guru is saying. Till then, we do not put it inside our heart. Because for bhakti, mamta is very important. And mamta means myness. This is my Guru. This is my Krishna. We have not seen Radha and Krishna. We have not seen Rup Goswami, Sanatan Goswami. So only by Gurudev mercy we will be able to know Rup Siksha, Sanatan Siksha, and how Krishna and Radha prem is and what we have to do. So Gaudiya Sampradaya is only on the platform of Asraya Tattva. So as Guru is also embodiment of or personification of Lord, but he is a Sevak Bhagwan. He is not a Vishay Bhagwan. He is a Asraya Tattva. Disciples should always try to serve Guru as he is trying to serve Krishna. But Guru should always think, I am the Sevak of Bhagwan, not I am Bhagwan myself. So these two things very important. If any Guru thinks that okay, I am also Bhagwan, we should give up that Guru right away. Because that's not right, we are not going to go to the right path. And Gurudev, like Krishna also says that anybody who is serving my disciple, who is serving my devotee, I am more happy when I see someone is serving my devotee than someone is serving me. So serving the Vaishnava, serving Guru is very, very important if we want to go or serve Krishna. Otherwise, if we go to temple, we do all kind of service, but we are not attached to Vaishnava, we have not met Gurudev, it is all zero. It's not going to work at all. And Guru Tattva is very, very deep and time is also very limited. So I will not be able to take a lot of time, but in a Gurudev bhajan we say, करुणानिधि नाम तेरा करुणा बरसाओ तुम सोए हुए भाग्य को हे नाथ जगाओ तुम. So today I am praying to Gurudev. Gurudev, you are very merciful. Your devotees are also very merciful. Please shower your mercy on me so that one day I can also become a better disciple. I can understand your Manovista and I will try to serve you in better way. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Everyone said very deep philosophical point. I would like to elaborate on that, but I'm not going to elaborate only when I get time to speak, because it goes one story after another. Because as devotee said, it's an endless topic, especially with our Gurudev. He was so personal with everyone, so personal, with each and every individual. Not only sannyasis, but brahmachari, grasta, every sevak. Not only sevak, but even to the taxi driver. Can you imagine? I am personal witness of this. Whenever Srila Gurudev from Delhi coming to Mathura, a driver who has no relationship with Gurudev, who has no relationship with any Vaishnava community, but he is going to be paid to drop off Gurudev and the whole team from Mathura to Delhi to Mathura. And imagine when Gurudev used to arrive in Mathura, we brahmacharis in Mathura temple, we all, prior to Gurudev coming Mathura, we were like preparing, cleaning everything like Gundisha temple, cleaning of Gundisha temple. And very excited. And the day when we know Gurudev is going to come, right from Mangal Aarti, all ladies there in Mathura decorating temple, flowers, everything, and brahmacharis in the streets singing for hours and hours. Not that when Gurudev comes, then immediately run down and welcome him. Not like that. It's not a formality. If suppose Gurudev is going to come 9 o'clock, the brahmacharis, we all start singing like 7, 2 hours prior to when his arrival. Because to welcome him, he's coming after a long time, his western tour, coming back to Mathura, his home. Gurudev says, this is my home. So, when the car when we used to see the Gurudev cars coming with the luggage on the carrier, the car comes and everyone with joy, yes, Srila Gurudev, ki jai. They started showering flowers from the roof. And imagine big crowd. And they all want to open door and want to touch his feet, and Gurudev gets so much busy, so busy. And with the kirtan party, we used to bring Gurudev to temple, the first floor, and used to greet his Guru Maharaj, first of all paying obeisances to him, and to Shri Mahaprabhu Radha Vinod Bihari, and Gurudev used to do parikrama, and then we bring Gurudev to his asan to worship him. So why I'm telling all these things? As a significance. Gurudev was receiving that worship. We have seen Srila Bhaktivedanta Vamana Goswami Maharaj on the altar here with Sri Gurudev. Very close God brothers. But according to nature perspective, it's totally different. But according to Gaudiya Siddhanta perspective and service to the Guru Maharaj, they both are same. Nature perspective, Gurudev never ever stopped anyone to worship him. He did one time, stopped me and my God brother, but that was some other reason, I'll tell some other time. But Srila Bhaktivedanta Vamana Goswami Maharaj, on his appearance day, on his birthday, and he is Acharya of Vedanta Samiti. Gurudev was not acting as Acharya at that time. And he was encouraging everyone to take initiation from Sri Bhaktivedanta Vamana Goswami Maharaj because he is the one Acharya. And imagine, his Acharya is the Guru of thousands of disciples around him. And on his appearance day, today is Vyasa Puja, right? His appearance day. So on his appearance day, when he was staying in Navdeep, Shri Devanand Gaudiya Math, and all devotees with so much enthusiasm to decorating temple and coming from far distance to celebrate his appearance day. And right a night before his appearance day, means yesterday night, midnight, like 12 or 1 o'clock, he used to wake up his disciple, his sevak, get up. And sevak said, yes, Guru Maharaj, we are going. Midnight? Yes. But Gurudev, where we are going, I don't know. But we have to leave the mutt. Because tomorrow, they all going to worship me and I don't like this idea. He was so much reluctant to even getting one garland, even to, get his lotus feet washed by anyone. Very reluctant, very shy, introvert, very great personality. How many of you have seen him? Srila Vamana Goswami Maharaj? Bhumipati Prabhu? Maharaj, of course you. So those who have seen him, very introvert, grave, and mild smile on his face. He used to disappear midnight. Because of this point, he don't like him getting worshipped. Imagine, this is his nature. And in the morning, everyone with so much enthusiasm, oh, we're going to worship Gurudev, Acharya, of thousands of disciples, Hari Nam from Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, and Diksha by Param Gurudev Shri Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. Understand? Direct disciple of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktivedanta Vamana Goswami Maharaj. Direct disciple. And he used to disappear. In the morning, everyone is there to welcome him, to see him, to have his darshan. And they find Gurudev not in his room. And they give a search all over the center. Every corner is not there. Disappeared. So what to do? Thousands of devotees are there to worship him. They used to keep his picture then and worship him. But nobody knows. They ask Sevak, they ask sannyasis, we don't know where is. And where is Srila Bhaktivedanta Vamana Goswami Maharaj? Midnight, like 12 or 1 o'clock, with his servant, walking, not even car, no rickshaw, nothing. Walking in a very remote area in a village, where nobody knows him. And only one of his very poor, hand-to-mouth poor disciple, very old, very humble cottage. Early in the morning, he used to knock his door. early morning, 3:30, 4 o'clock. Imagine if your Gurudev knock your door in the morning, 4 o'clock, and you're rubbing your eyes and open, what is this? Am I dreaming? And this, the Grastas, they, Guru Maharaj, you are here? Is everything okay? And he used to say, Hare Krishna. To every question, his answer was, Hare Krishna. Not speaking much. And then the Sevak used to describe him. Then Guru Maharaj don't like him getting worship. So it happened many years. But then everyone was aware what he's going to do, so they used to lock his door. And then humbly request him. And then finally it happened that in his presence, the Vyas Puja was taking place. I personally attended one of his Vyas Puja that was in Siliguri. In his personal appearance, he was there with his sevaks, and the beauty of his Vyasa Puja is, whenever he used to chant, there always used to be one signboard next to his seat. Do not touch his feet. Nobody used to like, he never used to like anyone touching his feet. He never liked that. And he's chanting. And I was just standing next to him, and I saw his 4 sevakas sitting next to him, and they were glorifying his features, his life history, that he delivered so many ghosts in his life. What to speak of human beings, he delivered so many ghosts in his life. Such amazing stories, and joking and laughing stories, and everyone was laughing, ha 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 ha. Srila Vamana Goswami was not even aware, where is he? He was not even aware, and he was Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I was thinking, if the sevak of our Gurudev doing like this in front of him, they're going to get a big kick. Gurudev and Srila Vamana Goswami nature totally different. But that's nature. Don't try to judge Acharya according to within nature. He's showing something, and he's showing something else. They both have their own prospect. Srila Gurudev never mind anyone worshipping him. Never mind. Any grasta, any brahmachari sannyasi worshipping him, always ready to accept your worship. Why? So, according to material perspective, you may say, Vamana Goswami, yeah, he's humble, he's down to earth, he's best. But any acharya accepting worship, oh no, he's little, different. That's again a gross understanding and material understanding. Because we don't know the depth of why acharya, they receive that worship. And why they don't. They are on the same level and the same understanding. Just like sun have so many rays, so how we can say this ray is better and that ray is not better? It's nothing to do with that. So coming to Srila Vamana Goswami later on, that's what I was saying. I don't want to interrupt in between. If I start saying something, then I don't want to stop. No, but I have many speakers to speak. So, just coming to this conclusion. Srila Gurudev, we all worshipping him, Shri Guru Charana Padma, and he used to give sweets, all devotees, and we give him mic and he speaks some Harikatha. 15 minutes and he go in his room. Imagine, from all the way from the car to his room, almost 1 hour 30 minutes. And when we couple of brahmacharis along with Gurudev to serve him, to massage him, etc. You know what Gurudev used to say when he sit on his bed? Don't send that driver without prasad. Give him a box of prasad so that he can distribute to his family. And we were wondering, you even remember this? He is getting worship, he is speaking Harikatha, he is meeting so many of the devotees, and he is giving account where I went, this and that, so much. But he is still concerned with the driver who brought him, 3-hour driving for him. So personal with each and every personality. What to speak of disciple? His driver, that ordinary simple driver. So sharp and personal with every individual. Every day. Once upon a time in Govardhan, Modi Bhavan, when the parikrama used to be from Modi Bhavan, Govardhan, I was serving Srila Gurudev and so many girls came from America, Gurudev disciples. And Gurudev, seeing them, Gurudev Gurudev just said to them, "Oh, my daughters have come." Just by hearing this, they all start crying and weeping. And Gurudev used to ask, "What happened to your high school? How much you scored? What happened to your marriage?" And he was asking each and every one their personal, their studies and their marriage and all other stuff. And I was surprised how he knows so much. So, when Gurudev came in his room, I was washing his lotus feet. I said, "Gurudev, how do you know each and every one? And the details of their family?" Gurudev said, "Because they're all my children. I am their father. So how can a father forget the children? I know each and every of them very well because they serve me so much." So this is one prospect, how he was so personal with each and every personality. Ending up here, I'd like to invite Anjali Didi. She's also a disciple of Gurudev. Please come and speak few words. Yes, please come. Come. Yes. Today is not the day of no, today is the day of yes. Come, even 5 minutes. Glorify Srila Gurudev in whatever memories or whatever you heard.
Whatever he put in your pot.
Not can't, just chant. Okay, Jai Gurudev. So, Raji Prabhu, please come. No, you can't. I'm not going to screw you. That's not the system.
Come on.
Please come. You're such a senior devotee, you're a senior disciple of Guru.
You have to remember something. Come.
Please come.
Must do.
Must do.
Babette.
And after Raji Prabhu, I want Rohini, Raman and Yashoda, Krishna. Come forward and we're going to sing. Gurudev used to like Jai Jai Dev Hare, Shikha Kamala, right? After he had finished his offering.
Raji. This is not Raji. This is not mine. You should leave it down.
Somebody said it was yours.
No.
Whatever. No limits.
Gurudev Govachandraya Radhikaya Sthadaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tattvaktaya Namo Namaha. I just drove 2.5 hours through hell to get to Sadhu Sangha, so I wanted to hear Maharaj, both Maharaj, our senior disciple, Bhumi Pati Prabhu. I don't know if I missed all that. But did they speak already?
I kept reserved.
Oh.
Only devotees can come and hear him. I reserved for him.
What do you want to hear from me? It's going to be gibberish anyway. But today I always, every appearance or disappearance day, I want to come to the satsang, but I always hope that they don't call on me. But today actually I was thinking, please don't call on me, but Maharaj called on me, so I can offer only a couple of things. Gurudev, his instructions, as far as one of the key instructions that he gave us was that Guru Nishtha, Guru Nishtha is the backbone to bhakti. And even when he gave me the mantras, and at that time I was so much in awe and reverence of Srila Gurudev that I really didn't understand what he was saying. At one point he even took my hand and showed me how to count on the hands. But the key thing is, Gurudev had said, and I actually came across this much later, but Gurudev said, as long as you have faith and that nishtha in Shri Guru, that these mantras will automatically be revealed to you. So, a couple years later, we had a satsang at our uncle's and auntie's house, and I actually went up and somehow I got this personal darshan of Srila Gurudev. And I asked him, Gurudev, when I'm chanting Guru Mantra, this is what I'm thinking of. And he said, oh, that's very good. This is exactly what you're supposed to be thinking of. So, the point here is, you have to have that nishtha, faith. Somehow or other, I was very fortunate. I prayed to Srila Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, for a spiritual master like him. I actually cried to him. I was raised up in the movement since I was 10 years old. I was basically going to the Philadelphia ISKCON temple. Before that, we were in Detroit. But as we all know, the trials and tribulations, but for some reason, I always prayed to Srila Prabhupada, please give me someone like you. And but somehow, I don't know, undeserving as I feel like Srila Prabhupada brought me to Srila Gurudev. And I feel like I'm not deserving, but somehow Gurudev showed mercy on me and accepted me as his disciple. So, all I can say is, this Guru Parampara is going to continue from time immemorial. It's never going to stop. There was so much influence in my family where, there was, some people in the family were telling me, okay, no, believe in the Riddick philosophy, and that Prabhupada after that. But that wasn't the case, because growing up, we studied Bhagavad Gita, and in that Bhagavad Gita shlok, Lord Krishna himself is saying, Tad viddhi paripatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshana. If Lord Krishna himself, he's saying, just go see someone who's self-realized, surrender unto him. He's seen the truth. So if Lord Krishna is saying you need Guru, bus. If Lord Krishna is saying you need Guru, you have to accept. So the Guru Parampara will continue on, and the next Acharya obviously will naturally manifest. But all I can say is I'm very fortunate. I came here to get Sadhu Sangha. So Maharaja and Bhumi Prabhu and Prabhuji, please forgive me, but that's all I can say. Vancha kalpata vishya kripa sindhu jayate.
Thank you, Raji Prabhu. He reminded me of my own personal story with Gurudev. I want to share. I was also very reluctant to speak, and Gurudev always used to call upon his brahmacharis. I always, from my school days, backbencher, I always in Gurudev class in the back, and always used to find someone tall in front of me so that I can hide myself. I'm short. Like suppose if Bhumi Prabhu is sitting on the floor, cross-legged, so always seeking for any tall person, and we used to hide. And Gurudev is very sharp. He was very sharp. Whenever he used to come and sit on his asana, he take 10-15 minutes to scan who's sitting where and what I have to speak. Because I said some instructions are universal, some to specific person sitting there. But he was very sharp, and once upon a time he called upon me. My name was Krishna Kripa. He said, Krishna Kripa Brahmachari, come, you have to speak. I was literally shaking, sweating. Oh my goodness, first time experience. Being very introvert, shy nature. Never any experience in my life. Even in school, never any, book reading or something, always very quiet and shy. Somehow, 15 minutes and it was over and I said, and later when Gurudev room, that was our everyday seva to massage him. So when I was massaging him, I said, Gurudev, please never call me to speak. He said, why? What is your problem? It's a big problem because when you ask me to speak, I immediately get Ashtaktik Bhav. Means 8 transcendental symptoms. Tears from my eyes, shivering, hair stand on my head. And Gurudev, he laughed. He said, you know the last one? Murcha, faint. I said, exactly this is what going to happen next time. It was like year 2002. It was very new. He said, no, you have to learn to speak Harikatha. He said, what is a fear? Just tell me what is a fear. In a personal conversation. Gurudev, I said, Gurudev, everyone is so learned there. Big sannyasis. They speak so fluent. They know so much. I'm surprised to hear because I'm very new in the Sangha. Gurudev said, what new? You disciple of Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. Huh? What new? You're not new. You heard from Guru Maharaj. Your Guru Maharaj. I said, not much. Because he was almost 100 years old. 98 years old when I came to him and got initiation by him. So, according to generation wise, don't take me wrong, but according to generation wise, Gurudev and me, myself, we are God brothers. According to generation, I'm saying. Because my Guru Maharaj, Shri Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, and Gurudev disciple of Param Gurudev. But I'm his disciple. And Gurudev always told me, you are my disciple. Very boldly. Even though you're disciple of Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. But you're my disciple. So much mamta, possessiveness. So you're not new. You have to learn how to speak Harikatha. So what is the fear? I said fear is this because everyone is very learned there, big sannyasis. I said this is a very wrong concept. That's why you are scared speaking Harikatha. I'm giving you a tip point. I'm giving you a tip. Next time when I call upon you, I say no, please don't. Next time when I call, keep in your head the concept. They all are in Hindi. He said bhusa. Bhusa means they're just straw. They don't know anything. They are foolish. They don't know anything. And you have to give a presentation. Then it will come off from you. I say, how can you understand? How can you believe they don't know anything? They know everything so much. Gurudev said, this is the wrong concept. I'm giving you a tip. Follow this and you'll be able to make it. Somehow I was hiding always in the back. One time it happened in Jammu, North India, preaching. Gurudev used to have Bhagavad Saptas, 7 days Bhagavad Katha. And the very first day he told me, all sannyasis, brahmacharis, they have to be on the stage and I can call upon anyone to speak. They said, yes, Gurudev, very good idea except me. He said, be ready, I can call upon any day. And I was like, now he want all red cloth brahmacharis to be on the stage. I cannot hide anywhere. 1 day passed, 2 days, and I was counting how many days left for Bhagavad Sapta to end. So then it was 5th day, because 4th day was celebration Krishna Janam, birth of Krishna, 5th day. And all of a sudden Gurudev said, so today we are going to hear Brahm Bimon Leela, how Brahma got bewildered. And Krishna Kripa Brahmachari going to speak on this. I said, that's me. I was looking around, who's Krishna Kripa? It's me. Gurudev said, get up, speak. And actually, me and my godmother, we actually arranged Gurudev in that territory to preach. We arranged that. And all our friends were sitting there and like 700 people, and on the stage, first time, Gurudev asked me to speak. Luckily, by God's grace, just before coming to that Jammu, that North India territory, luckily in Mathura Math, I learned 10 verses of Brahm Bimol Leela. And that came on me to speak. How Krishna is dancing and jumping with his sakhas. So I learned those 10 verses in a row. So when Gurudev called upon me to speak, first of all I did Mangacharan, shaking, and then I uttered those 10 verses. This is what Krishna is doing with sakhas. In a row, 10 verses. And Gurudev looked upon me. Huh? Is he having any paper or something? Any book? And he looked upon me and I looked toward Gurudev and I turned my face around. Fearful. And I saw Gurudev was doing like this. So I was getting little confidence now. So I spoke like 35-40 minutes. That was my second time speaking in front of Gurudev. And then Gurudev started ringing bells. Stop, stop, stop. I immediately stopped. One shot I'll put this thing. So I asked Tithi Maharaj, who was sitting next to me, I said, Maharaj, did I say something wrong? He said, no. But you spoke everything. You didn't give any chance to Gurudev to speak on this subject. That's why he's upset. I said, okay, I'm not familiar with all this. First time. He said, no problem. Gradually you will learn this. Next morning, I brought breakfast for Srila Gurudev in his room. I said, can I ask you something? He said, yes. Did I say something wrong yesterday? Did I offended you? He said, why are you asking this? Because I felt something. Gurudev said, I wanted to speak that topic. I didn't expect you can speak that long. You already spoke everything, didn't give anything for me to speak on this topic. So you have to learn. You have to learn time frame. If you've been asked to speak something, always speak something, but give all other time for your Gurudev to speak. And this is one art. You have to learn this. So whenever I speak Harikatha, observe me, Gurudev said. Never say anything from your own mind. Whatever I am teaching you, hear that and then repeat that. And learn how I am conducting those assemblies. How I am making everyone speaking and how everyone... This is an art of speaking. Gradually, you will learn this. And those 5 minutes words of Gurudev was just like a blessing to me. And I developed so much confidence. So I'm just telling my own story. I was so shaky in front of Gurudev. But he forced or infused me to speak something. Otherwise I would have been never ever can speak any Harikatha. It's because Srila Gurudev's mercy. Gurudev's mercy. I can boldly say this, no matter anyone can accuse me saying that I'm showing off or whatever it is, but this is the fact, this is the truth. I personally realize, we do Mangacharan saying this, but I personally realized in my life, with emotions I'm saying this. Even if you're saying I'm arrogant or showing off, I don't mind, but I personally realize this verse, Mukam karoti vachanam, pangu nange tekere. A dumb person can also speak, and a lame man can also cross mountains when the mercy of Guru is there. I see the blessings of Gurudev in this form, even though I'm not following him properly, his footsteps, but this is a great blessings. I personally realize this in my life. So thank you, Rajiv Prabhu, for reminding me of my own story with Gurudev. I want Rajiv Prabhu's children to please come forward. A commercial break, and here's some one bhajan. Can you sing Shri Rupa Manjari Pada? Huh? Okay. Then Mangal Geetam? Yes. Come here. Girls, come here.
Oh.
Raman,
Yeah. Give them Raman, give his assistant the mic on the chair. Oh,
she's here.
I'll give Maharaj that one. Okay. Give Maharaj the one, Raman.
You said what?
Give him that one. The one that you have.
Give that one as well. Maybe that one works. Roman, give that. Is that working? Right.
Jaya Jaya Deva Hare Jaya Radhe Krishna Govinda Gopala Nanda Dulala Yashoda Dulala Jaya Jaya Deva Hare Jaya
Gurave Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Vanchakalpa Trudhyascha Kripa Sindhubhye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namashrestam Manumapi Sachiputram Atra Sarupam Rupam Tashagajam Ruparim Matarim Gostavatim Radha Kundam Girivaram Maho Radhika Madhavasham Prapto Yasha Pratita Kripaya Shri Gurun Tam Natosmi Trinadapi Sunichena Tarodapi Sahishnuna Amani Namana Dena Kirtaniya Sadari Bhakja Vahina Parada Lakshai Shiptashta Kamarita Rangamaje Kripa Mai Tvam Saranam Prapana Vrinde Namaste Charanara Vrindam. First of all, I would like to offer my respectful obeisances to the lotus feet of my spiritual master, His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And I would also like to offer my respectful obeisances at the lotus feet of my Shiksha Guru, His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Narayan Goswami Maharaj. I'd like to offer respects to all the Vaishnavas that are, were, or will be in the future. So today is a very auspicious day. And the Tirobhava Tithi, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gurudeva, and also the Avirbhava Tithi of Srila Bhaktivedanta Vamana Goswami Maharaj. So, listening to the devotees speak, and actually Maharaj mentioned something, and it made me remember I wasn't the only one that Gurudeva picked on, but I'll talk about that later. But Srila Gurudeva, one of the things I've been able to remember in my heart, and I'll tell the story later, but he had given me that instruction. He said it doesn't matter that you don't know so many things. He said, but whatever it is you do know, you should give it to others and help others. So we can never repay the debt to our spiritual master for what he has done for us. But as I've read from Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, Srila Siddhanti Maharaj's Gurudev, he said, whatever it is that we have gleaned from our Guru, we should take it and distribute it to others. So I noticed there's a lot of the younger devotees here, and those that do know me somewhat, you know, I'm pretty interactive when I speak. So like Gurudev would say, you should be all ready, I may call on you and ask you something. So Srila Gurudev, what I learned from him early on, actually I met Srila Gurudev in 1978. I didn't know who he was, but we were in the first year anniversary of Srila Prabhupada, our Srila Prabhupada's Tirobhava in Krishna Balaram Temple in Vrindavan. I didn't know much about him. I knew he was the one that put Prabhupada in Samadhi. But I was so excited because we had a kirtan. Me and a few other my godbrothers, devotees, we were known throughout ISKCON because of kirtan. I played Mridanga, Vikreshwar Pandit sang, Shasti Bhar played Mridanga. So wherever we went in India, it would be like a concert because devotees would just be in awe watching us. But that particular day, Srila Gurudev came in, and the first thing I heard him sing was Radharani Ki Jai and Maharani Ki Jai. And they were playing it over the megaphone. And I was like, wow. And then when he came in, we had the kirtan here. But when he came in and started leading the kirtan, it went to a whole nother level. And I can remember Gurudev playing the wampers, and then he was playing the gong, and he was just watching me laughing because I was always playing Mridanga, running. We all did it. I didn't remember one word he said, but just the influence of his association and how much he loved. I could see he had a thirst for the kirtan. That's what attracted me. At that time, I was about 21 years old. You know, I joined the movement when I was 16, left home, gave up so many things. But that particular inspiration from Srila Gurudeva stayed with me for years. So through the trials and tribulations of so many years of going through my experiences in the temple, at that time, my wife was a Bhaktin, and she stayed a Bhaktin for 17 years. And I would never let her get initiated. Sometimes we'd have arguments, but I never trusted the people that were given initiation. Philosophically, I couldn't back it up, but I knew, because I knew a lot of them. That's not it. That's not it. So I say by Srila Prabhupada's grace and by the grace of Gurudeva, in April of 2000, my body had a stroke. And after doing that, after that happened, Gurudeva had come to New York 4 times. I never went to see him. Oh, I gotta work. Oh, Narayan Maharaj is coming. Yeah, but I gotta work. But now I had time to think. So when Gurudeva came to Alachua in 2000, I went and I made sure to get his association. So immediately, he did not necessarily chastise me, but he asked, what is your name? And I told him, Bhumi Pati. Before I could get Das out, he said, no, Das. And he said, he had his hand in his bead bag, and he did this. He said, Bhumi Pati is like this, not like this. So, on and on as years went on, I remember one of the times we were in Barshana, and Gurudeva gave a class, and he explained these 4 core verses, and I want to share these with everyone here. Those that don't know them, some that do know them. Those that don't know them, you should take note of these 4 verses, because it's a foundation. Without a foundation, what happens if we have a weak foundation, if we only have 2 sides or 3 legs on the foundation? It has to be 4. It makes it very strong if you're building a house. Because if the foundation's not strong, when you put something heavy on top, what will happen? It'll collapse. It'll crash. So this first verse he gave this verse. Anya abilasita sunyam, jnana kamari napratam, anakulyena krishnanu shilanam bhakti uttama. So that type of bhakti we perform has to be done exclusively for the satisfaction of Krishna, free from the desire for karma, jnana, yoga, and it has to be unbroken and unmotivated. Like this other verse, Savai Pum Samparo Dharmo Yuto Bhaktir Oksajay, Ahoitikiya Pratiyata Ya Yatma Suprasidati. But I just saw something today that would amaze me, where Gurudeva spoke about this Anukulyena Krishna. What is this? That Anukulyena Krishna Nushilanam, actually, because we don't really know Krishna. We don't really know Mahaprabhu. Some of you may have had their darshan, not myself, but basically because of our ignorance. What Srila Prabhupada describes in Adi Lila of Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 1, text 58 in the purport, he says the preceptor appears before the external senses of the fortunate conditioned soul. So without Guru, how is it possible we can make any advancement? We want to worship Radha Krishna, we want to worship Mahaprabhu, we want to worship our previous acharyas, but how many have had their association? And coming in contact doesn't mean association. Association means with attachment, with our heart. So we have the opportunity, some of you, Siddhanti Maharaj and Shri Gurudev. So develop that attachment in your heart for your Gurudev. Because whatever you're attached to, that's what you associate with. So Gurudev gave us this first verse. Then the second verse, he said, Vacha Vegam Manasakroda Vegam, Jiva Vegam Udara Pasta Vegam, Etan Vegam Yogisha Heta Dira, Sarvam Apimam Pritivim Sasisha. So first we have to have control. Without following Rupa Goswami's Upadeshamrita, how is it possible we can make any advancement? So sometimes some devotees like to hear so many high topics. Yes, we should hear about Krishna and his pastimes with the gopis. We should be able to recognize that this is the aim and objective. But first we have to build that platform, because that's a very heavy thing. And if our platform, our foundation is really weak, it'll crash. So the third verse he gave us, Shanadapi Suni Chena, Tadorapi Sahishnana, Amani Namanadena, Kirtaniya Sadahadi. We should consider ourselves lower than the straw on the street, more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and what? Ready to offer all respects to others. And in that way, we can chant the holy name constantly. But how should we chant the holy name? How should it be chanted? Free from offenses. We chant for so many years, so many years, so many years. But why is it we stay in the same place? Gurudeva told the story once. There was a marriage party. And the groom was ready to go and meet with the bride. And they were on a boat at night. So they paid the rowers and everyone was rowing. So all night they were partying, having a good time. And morning came and they realized they didn't go anywhere. They didn't go anywhere. So the groom was really upset. But what happened? They didn't take the anchor out of the water. So our anartas are like anchors. And they're binding us to this world. So we have to put forth the effort, not just to chant, but chant free from offenses. I've been following this process for 49 years. And I have no one else to blame but myself. Why? Because the instruction is there. Gurudev, our Guru Varga, they've all given the instruction. But because we have weakness of heart. But don't give up. Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, one of my favorite in the, what is the book? Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, the letters. Kriti Lakshana. No. Kriti. So, Kirti Ratna. He says, Bhakti is not for the timid, the cowardly, or the weak. So Gurudev wanted all of his disciples, and he would especially say this for his devotee women, his devotee women disciples. You have to be strong. You have to be strong. That doesn't mean you should be in competition and all of these things, but you have to be some fortitude in your heart that I must do this. Because if you're not going to put down your anartas, don't put down your bead bag. How many actually chant all their rounds every day? Come on, let's be honest. Raise your hand if you chant your rounds every day. Come on. How many don't? Okay. And how many of you are increasing your japa? Because some people will say, well, Prabhupada said just chant 16 rounds. He said at least 16. So we should think, how can I increase? How can I increase? How can I increase? If something happens and I don't, I finish the next day. And I chant quite a few. So I make that the point. So I'm saying these things to try to enthuse and encourage you all, because this is what Gurudev asked me to do. And once Mukunda Prabhu in Alachua, and he may be watching this, he heard Gurudev. He was saying, oh, Gurudev, when party's going to come to Alachua, he's going to move to Alachua. And Gurudev said, then what will happen to New York? And I've always thought about that. And Gurudev looked at me the way he looked at me. And I don't know, it might go up in smoke in an atom bomb one day. But I can't give up what Gurudev asked of me. So once, I'll tell the last verse. Tatenu kampam susamikshamano, bhujana evatma krita vipakam, Vridbhag Vapuvir Vidadam Namaste, Jive Tiyo Mukti Pade Sadaibhag. The devotee, he thinks that all of these things that may be going difficult for me, it's only because of my past misdeeds. We have to take some responsibility for what we've done in our past. We may forget, but the Supreme Lord doesn't forget. So the devotee actually thinks, whatever suffering or things that are going wrong for me in my life, I should be getting worse than this. Because everyone knows their own consciousness or their own mind. I may have heard that somebody was like this or like that, or did this thing wrong, that thing. But I don't know anyone worse than I am. Because I know what goes through my mind. I know what goes through it. So we have to continue. It's a fight. It's a battle. So keep going. So Srila Gurudeva is actually coming. He's been so kind and so merciful to me. I've had a few incidents where I got to sit and speak with Gurudeva personally. But I'll just mention this one time because Maharaja reminded me of this. I always had some pride because I would sit in Gurudeva's class and I would never nod out and get tired. Whenever I would get tired of something, I would pinch my leg or twist my fingers and hurt so I wouldn't be sleeping. So we were in Houston one year. And previously I had been speaking to some devotees about Dhenukashura. How Dhenukashura from Krishna Samhita represented gross intelligence. And how this is very detrimental to make spiritual advancement because of Dhenukashura. So I was describing this to devotees. I had a little pride. So during the class, Gurudev called on me and he said, come up and speak about Agasura. Oh boy. It cut completely. And as I stood up to walk, I know that nervous feeling. And it was about 500 devotees, so I was like, and in my mind, from my past, it was like when I looked at Gurudev, he had like a pirate patch on, kind of, like a pirate. And I was like, oh no. So I felt, as I was walking to speak, I felt so nervous. And I was like, I didn't know what I was going to say. So when I got up in front, I said, well, today Gurudev must be in a comedic mood. I said, because he's called up a clown. So all the devotees were laughing. They laughed so hard. And Gurudev said, what's saying? So Madhava Maharaj told him what I had said. So Gurudev started laughing. So Prem Prayojan, when he was a Raja Maharaj, he was sitting in the front and he helped me. So I was able to say some things. So Gurudev said, very good. Afterwards, we were walking out and I said, I quoted one verse from Majja Lila, chapter 25, text 265. Krishna consciousness means understanding Krishna tattva, bhakti tattva, rasa tattva, bhava tattva, prema tattva, and lila tattva. I said, Gurudev, I don't know lila tattva so well. I said, in fact, I don't know any tattva so well. Gurudev said, that's okay. He said, whatever it is you do know, you should help others. And that gave me some inspiration. Because previously, I was quite young, rambunctious, as a teenager and stuff. So one thing I would do, I would always read. I would read, but I would never really talk. Only in some circles I would talk. But that inspiration that Gurudev told me, because he explained once previous to me, he said, when I explained to him what I understood from Bhakti Tattva Vivek, and I explained the point where Bhakti Vinod Thakur mentioned, misconception is our greatest enemy. So if we miss the conception, what happens? It's going in a different direction. So we have to be individually and collectively sincere about what it is that we want. What is the aim and objective of following Vaidhi Bhakti? Now I'm asking questions. What's the aim and you all can't say. What is the aim and objective of Vaidhi Bhakti? Come on, somebody, not you either. You can't speak. What is the aim and objective of following Southern Bhakti? I'll say Southern Bhakti. What is the aim and objective of following Southern Bhakti? No, you can't say. You either. Someone else, come on. These are things that we have to know. Damodar, do you know this? Yeah.
Damodar?
Yes.
Because your face is pointing. I'm hoping there's a Damodar
No.
over there.
Come on.
I wasn't not sitting there. So, I'm sure I'm going to get it wrong, but I know that we've heard that Vaidhi Bhakti, when
Southern Bhakti. Southern Bhakti.
well, I'll start with Vaidhi. Mention that first.
Okay, but I'm saying Southern because there's two types of Southern, Vaidhi and Raganuga. But what is the aim and objective of it?
Well, what came to mind first was that with one practices Vaidhi Bhakti, then they attain the Vaikuntha planet.
Well, from Southern Bhakti, we go to Bhav Bhakti. From Bhav Bhakti, we can go to Prema Bhakti. So these are stages and steps. There's a process that we're following, and you have to follow the process. And if we miss the conception about part of the process, we'll be somewhere else. So one of the things that Srila Gurudeva would often emphasize is the importance of understanding or building a very strong foundation. And this will actually give us, from our activities that we perform in Southern Bhakti like this, we will develop more and more Sukriti. By chanting our Harinam, we'll get more and more Sukriti. And what is the benefit of your Sukriti? Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha. And the proper conception is the most important thing. Because then you don't become misled. If you're sincere, Krishna will make that arrangement that you can get that type of association from devotees that can help you with this. So today we're praying to Srila Gurudeva to continue to help us, to enthuse us, to encourage us to keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. Because at the time of death, there's no more excuses. That's the final test. What will be the conception or the nature of our consciousness? It says to remember Krishna and never forget him. But remember Krishna how? The impersonalists chant Hare Krishna, but what's their conception of Krishna? We have to have the proper, what was Mahaprabhu's conception of Krishna? Arajo Bhagavan Vrajeshas Tanayastad Dhamma Vrindavana. That Krishna who's the son of Nanda Maharaj, he is our most worshipful object. Just as he's worshipable, so is the land of Vrindavan. The method that he's served by the Vrajaramanīs or the Gopis, especially Srimati Radharani, this is the highest. And Srimad Bhagavatam is the supreme evidence of this. It says Krishna praying. What Krishna? That Krishna who's the son of Nanda Maharaj, Mother Yasoda, the lover of Srimati Radharani. This type of praying is the ultimate goal of life. And this is the conception and opinion of Mahaprabhu. And we're not concerned with any other. We're not concerned with any other conception. So we have to narrow it down. From the beginning, we look at a mountain and it looks like it's so giant and it's big. But closer you get to the mountain, you realize there's trees, there's birds, there's animals, there's grass, there's so many things. So now we have to develop a focus and become one-pointed in our aim and objective. So this is the inspiration that Srila Gurudeva has inspired me today to speak something. I didn't really know what I was going to speak, but hearing from others. And no one should be afraid, especially the disciples. Maybe some nervousness is there, but to say, oh, I don't want to speak. You're saying Gurudev gave you nothing. Why would you want to embarrass your Gurudev like that? Something has to be that he put there. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. Share it with others. Because you never know, something that you may say may enthuse and encourage someone else if you have that desire to serve and please your Gurudev. Because I didn't know anything about Krishna. I didn't know anything about Mahaprabhu, but by the mercy of a Vaishnava who came as a young kid sitting in the park doing not good things, a devotee came. I wasn't seeking the truth. I wasn't seeking the truth at all, but by grace and mercy of a Vaishnava. So somehow or other, we should think in terms of now that we have some awakening, Krishna Bhakti Janma Mula Hoya Sadhu Sangha Krishna Bhakti Janma Teno Puna Mukhya Anga. The root cause of bhakti is association of advanced devotees. And when our consciousness becomes awakened, that same type of association is the most essential thing. So Siddhanti Maharaj is here. He's sharing so many things with us. He's such an inspiration. Sometimes I'll look at his classes. He's speaking Hindi, but I don't know what he's saying. But I'll listen anyway. Because of the intensity. Sometimes, a few of the lectures I've gone, and actually at Rajiv's house once, he told a story, and I can't even remember the whole story, but it was my favorite. I can't remember. And just the mood and the feeling of the inspiration I got from what he was saying, that enthused me so much. So we should all, when we come to Sangha of devotees, we should leave enthused and with a new type of determination that, yes, I gotta do this. And always remember what Gurudeva said at the end of all of his programs. Don't be hopeless and don't be weak. Vanchakalpa Trubhyascha Kripa Sindhya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo.
So much. Thank you so much for sharing wonderful Gurudeva ideals and the words of encouragement for everyone. And this is what I also heard when I was a little reluctant. Gurudev said, if you don't speak Hari Katha or whatever you heard from me and from Acharyas, then this is violence to the jivas. This is a statement by Bhakti Siddhanta Sri Thakur Prabhupada. If you heard and if you're not delivering that message to your close ones or far ones, you're doing violence to them. And if you're speaking, then you're favoring them. You're giving blessings to them by making them understanding something little bit of Krishna consciousness. So that was a very bold statement actually. This is statement of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada. If you don't speak Hari Katha, you're doing violence to the jivas. So whatever we have heard, Anukirtan, we are not qualified to do Kirtan. Who is doing Kirtan? Srila Gurudev, Srila Maharaja Maharaj, all our respected Gurudevs, they are actually doing Kirtan, and what we are doing is Anukirtan, repeating their words. Shadhanuto Anushunyayad Atha Varneva. The last verse of Rasa Leela. Gurudeva Goswami is saying, Shadhanuto Anushunyayad Atha Varneva. First of all, we have to hear from bona fide authority the topics of Radha and Krishna. And then, after hearing that Anukirtana, then repeating the words with their realization, not with our own mental speculations. And otherwise, it's going to be very devastating. Just meditating on some form, one boy, one girl, oh, this is Radha Krishna. That's artificial meditation, Ahangaropasana. But meditating on first, what? First meditating on the words and the pastimes, how Gurudeva is describing the pastimes for Radha Krishna. So our movement is not for artificial meditation, it's for bona fide meditation. And it starts from meditating on name, form, qualities and pastimes. So meditating on name. So thank you so much for this, and now we have still have time. Requesting Sripad Rasikanand Maharaj to please glorify Shri Gurudev, and then I'll get little chance also to speak. I've not even started yet. It was just everyone was speaking and I was offering little swaha in that yet. What I wanted to speak is still there.
Can I mention one thing, Maharaj? That Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, he says, Hari Nam without Hari Katha is incomplete. So if you chant but you're not hearing any Harikatha, it's incomplete. Because what will you remember during your Nam if you don't hear Harikatha?
ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। शिवकुञ्जे व्रजेरन्ये गोवर्धने गिरौ सदा राधाकुञ्जरसानन्दे तत्तत्सेवप्रदायकम् गुरुं नारायणं तं वन्दे विनोदकृष्टकं यत्पादस्मृतिमात्रेण दामोदर प्रसीदति। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय विक्लेशमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय विक्लेशमते भक्तिसिद्धान्तसरस्वती नामिने। नमो गौरकिशोराय शक्षरवैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्बरसम्भवे पदम्बुजायते नमः। नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगवरायते। गौरवीर्भावमस्तं निर्दिष्टसृजनप्रियवैष्णवसर्वश्रीजगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वञ्चाकल्पतरुष्टकृपासिन्धुभ्यः चापतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। तानन्दनमस्तुभ्यं प्रेमानन्दप्रदायिनि कलौ कलमासनासाय जनवापतये नमः। जय नवदीप नवप्रदीप प्रभाव प्रसन्न गदैक सिंहस्वनाम संख्यजप सूत्रधारी चैतन्य चंद्र भगवान मुरारी। हा देवी काकुपुरगड्गर्यन्तवाच याचे निपत्यभुविदन्दवरुत्पदार्ति अस्या प्रसादोपदस्य जनस्य कृत्वा गन्धर्विकेरि चिरनीगणनं विदधि। श्याम सुंदर शिखंड शेखर स्मेरहास मुरलीहर राधिकृसिगं कृवन्दे स्वप्रिय चरणं किं करितु। हो भाग्यम नंद गोपा प्रजोकसं यन्मित्रं परमानन्दं पूर्णं ब्रह्म सनातनं। तवैवास्मि न जीवामि त्वया विना इति विज्ञाय देवी त्वं नयमं शरणं तीर्थ। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासरी गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय श्री गुरुदेव की जय, समस्त रूपान गुरुवर की जय। Offering my system Dandavat Pranam countless times into my most beloved Guru Pada Padma. Param Aradhitam Pastot Tasta Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj Shri Gurudev, and to Om Vishnu Pada Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Vamana Goswami Maharaj, and to the entire Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga, to all assembled Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, headed by Srila Sannyasi Srimad Bhaktivedanta Siddhanti Maharaj, and all devotees, seniors, God brothers, God sisters. Hare Krishna. So I don't have any prepared talk, but I want to offer a little meditation. Meditation on the life of a disciple and how to always remain within the sweet relationship with Sri Guru. So this is what I'm thinking about now. We hear from Sri Rupa Goswami Pad, Prathamam Guru Padashray. First step in spiritual life is taking shelter of the lotus feet of Shri Guru. The question can be raised, is that a preliminary stage or a first stage after which we can progress beyond that stage? Or is it something that is a permanent stage? You could say a permanent principle. Shri Guru Padashrai. What does it mean to be in the shelter of someone? This refers to a kind of relationship. There are different kinds of relationships. Shanta Dasi Sakya Vatsalya Madhurya. What is our relationship to Guru Padma? We heard from Shri Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj. Shri Guru is like spiritual father. There are different kinds of lila with Shri Guru and with Shri Krishna. So in this world we have this kind of relationship. He is our spiritual father. But this position of Guru Padashrai is an eternal position. Srila Narottam Das Thakur teaches us this. Right? Chakudhan adhila je janme janme prabhu she divya jnana hriday prakashito. Guru is giving Chakudhan. What does it mean? Chakshudhan. If he is only giving us the eyes to see what we already see, that is not Chakshudhan. Chakshudhan means bestowing divine vision. Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito. Manifesting or revealing transcendental knowledge in the heart. Giving that vision. Then Janme Janme Prabhu say, life after life. This means Guru Padashrai. Life after life shelter. How beautiful is that? That is our great hope, right? We Nama Shristam Anupi. But Asha Bandha, what is our great hope? That once we achieve the lotus feet of pure devotee of the Lord, then we have eternal shelter. Like Swami Prabhupada would write in his letters, your ever well-wisher. That is eternal sambandha, eternal relationship. This is a very beautiful thing. So the life of a disciple means how to always be in their ashray. Now ashray, we're following Krishna consciousness. So how can our consciousness always be absorbed in pleasing the object of our worship, or our ashray, our shelter? When we are in ashray, means our consciousness is infused with that thought, that concern of how can I please my object of love and worship. Worship means bhakti, to adore something. Like yesterday we spoke about Guru Bhakti. So how can we be Janme Janme Prabhu say? He is our life after life master. Gurudeva would say, to be bona fide Guru is quite rare, and to be bona fide disciple, even more rare. Therefore we heard from Bhumipati Prabhu how to become bona fide disciples. It means life after life. In Mahaprabhu Lila, there was an example of Kala Krishna Das who left the shelter of the Lord, but Mahaprabhu is so merciful, say Prabhu Dhanya, that he dragged this sevak back. So this is the mercy of our acharyas, but yet we should pray that this is not a repeating habit. Every month or two he has to drag us back with a sikha. But Janme Janme Prabhu say this relationship is so sweet. So Guru has different kinds of lila. Acharya lila, that he is manifesting in his pastimes in this world. This is one form of. Nitya lila, also Naimitika, means like today's disappearance day. And we say Nitya lila pravishta. So what is the meaning of Nitya lila? And if there is Nitya lila, that means there must also be some pastime that is not Nitya. But this is also Nitya. Like all of Krishna's Leela is eternal Leela. Killing the demons is eternal Leela. He's always performing these different Leelas. But Nitya Leela, what is the speciality of Nitya Leela? And so Guru Pad Padma's Nitya Leela, what is that speciality? So Janme Janme Prabhu Se means we also must, at some point in the course of our spiritual life, enter into that service, transcendental service. That is Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito. Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashita means, what is your Ekadash Bhav? This is a very high topic, but ultimately this is the conclusion Guru Pad Padma is leading us towards in our Swarup Rupanuga Gauriya Parampara, Dhyan Chandra Padati, Garahar Pandit's teachings, and this line, Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashita means, what is the knowledge of your relationship to Shri Radha and Shri Krishna in your service? Therefore you must there always be in Guru Padashray. You cannot directly go and serve Shri Radha and Shri Krishna. Even when we offer bhoga in this world. First we offer to Guru Pad Padma, then Guru Pad Padma offers to the Sakis and Manjaris, then they will offer to Shri Radha and Shri Krishna. Guru Pad Padma is also Saki and Manjari, therefore she can also directly offer. But she gives to Lalita Saki. So that, how can we serve in that Leela? But also, how can we follow the teachings of Mahaprabhu? Especially in Shikshastra, Mahaprabhu said, Mama Janmani Janmanishvara Bhavata Bhakti Mahaiti Kitvayi. Life after life, I only aspire for your one-pointed devotion. So sometimes we think, oh, I'm taking shelter of Gurudev, then he will give me Nitya Leela Pravisha. I will also be Nitya Leela Pravisha. But now, Janme Janme Prabhu say, oh Guru Maharaj, wherever you are, I want to be at your lotus feet serving you. Whatever Leela. Acharya Leela, I will be your Das, Anudas, Anudas. That Britya, Britya, Paricharaka, Britya, Britya. Wherever you are, Guru Maharaj, I have some opportunity to be somewhere nearby enough to hear your katha, to have some chance for service. I remember in New Braj, as a young boy, we would see Gurudev Sevaks, Shripad Madhav Maharaj, at that time Pundarik Prabhuji, right? Maharaj Naveen Krishna Brahmachari at that time. Sometimes we get a chance, oh, would you like to come and iron Guru Maharaj's clothes? Oh, how beautiful. Oh, we would go and collect flowers and make garland for Gurudev. This is also eternal Leela. Why? Wherever Vaishnava, pure devotee is, they're always in Nitya Leela. And our highest aspiration is to always be in their association. Why? Oh, in your heart, Govinda Vishram, in the heart of the Vaishnavas, pure devotees, Krishna is always present there. Therefore we say, Jeshtan Vaishnav, Sestan Vrindavan. Wherever the Vaishnava is, that is Vrindavan. So this is the beauty of pure Guru, is that any chance you have to be in their association, it is like you're with Sri Krishna. Because in their heart, Krishna is dancing and playing. Shri Mati Radhika is dancing and praying. But how can you truly serve? Without adopting their mood. Therefore we say, Gurudeva Tatma, how to become one at heart with Sri Guru. Then, when you become one at heart, then also he will give that Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito. But all these stages, what is our aspiration? Like we say, Ahaitiki Bhakti, causeless devotion. Why are we worshipping Guru Pada Padma? To achieve some benefit from him? No. This is our eternal relationship. Like we talk about love for God. But Pratamam to Guru Bhujjam, Yasadeve Parabhakti. Your Guru Bhakti should be equal to your Krishna Bhakti. Because there, are you going to go to Krishna's eternal abode and bypass Guru and serve Krishna? You have to understand, Janme Janme Prabhu say means, oh, Guru Maharaj is now like a means to an end. This is some conception that is, a form of Mayavad in this world. Oh, Guru is helping me go to God. And then after, oh, who is Guru? Then this is not Janme Janme Prabhu. One time Gurudev was crossing in Kartik Parikrama along like a rocky terrain. And as a teaching through his pastime, he took the hand of a devotee. I don't know if you've heard this story. I've heard it a few times, very interesting. And he said, okay, they walked across the road after a little patch, And he threw their arms aside. I don't need you anymore. Someone shocked. He said, this is my land. Right? Taking help from someone, but then as soon as you get what you want, you reject them. So in Krishna's eternal abode, if you want to serve, especially in Madhurya Ras, whatever Ras, you have to have some Anugatya, guidance. Krishna Anushīlanam, Anukulyena Krishna, some guidance. If you want to serve in that abode, especially in Madhurya Ras, you cannot bypass. And you would never want to, because that is your source of shelter and mercy and love and a connection to Srimati Radhika. In this line of, right, highest Manjari Bhavupasana, how can you, therefore, all Gaudiya Vaishnavas, especially at their Tirobhava time, right? We see this in our history, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, our Srila Swami Prabhupada, our Guru Pada Padma, and now also in all their Tirobhavas, we always sing this song. We don't sing at that time Shri Krishna Pad, or even Srimati Radhika Charana Padma. Shri Rupa Manjari Pada Se Mora Shampada. She Mora Bhajan Pujan. That is my bhajan, that is my puja, that is my brata, that is my tapa, that is everything. My jivan er jivan. The life of my very life. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma. That is the only possibility for me to develop that Krishna Bhakti, but that is not something I am crossing over. That is my eternal position. I am eternally in your ashray. Then, in the charan chai, in the shade of your lotus feet, all this relish, all the ras of service to Shri Radha and Krishna is present. But what is my desire? My desire is only to receive the ras, the service of your lotus feet. Gurudeva Tatma. Bhaktiyai Kesham, Gurudeva Tatma. Bhayam Tatiya Pinivesh. We're afraid because we have separated consciousness. So how can you come back? What is Krishna consciousness? That is Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Shadma. Then we can understand Shri Krishna, Srimati Radhika. Without a father, we have no question of family. So our spiritual father, Guru Pada Padma, we're praying to eternally be in his shelter. Then we can understand who is spiritual father, who is spiritual friend. So in that world, in Nitya Lila, he is Guru what? We may say, oh, this is not for general audience, but this is not general audience, this is advanced class. Very advanced devotees here. Every day when we chant our Guru Mantra and Archan Deepika is described, what do you pray? Radha Sakhi Sangani Vasinam. Guru Pad Padma is, Srimati Radhika is very dear, intimate servant. So meditate on that form and that service Guru Swarup. Guru Pad Padma gave us indication of that in his Seva Kunj painting. We see Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur described his Swarup, some indication. And this is our Swarup Rupa Anuga Gaudiya Parampara. What is the understanding of how to follow Vaidhi Sadhan Bhakti, aiming at Rag? And what is the process of Rag and how can we develop through our Sadhan Bhakti, aiming at Bhav? Like we heard from Bhumipati Prabhu, without going towards Bhav Bhakti, we're not even performing sadhan, if that is not our aim. So our aim and object is very high, therefore we must follow very strictly. Therefore Gurudeva said, Uttama Bhakti. Just the other day I was preparing introduction for one of the volumes of Gurudeva's Harikatha in San Francisco. This is volume 32. June 10 to 16th, 98. Gurudeva said there is only pure Bhakti. Everything else is not Bhakti. Gurudeva said like that. He said, we may say there's Uttam Bhakti, does that mean there's Adama Bhakti? There's high Bhakti and there's fallen Bhakti? No. He said there's things that look like Bhakti but are not Bhakti. So how can we serve under this conception of what is pure Bhakti that Guru Padma gave? And he said some mixtures there, Arup Siddha, Sangha Siddha, Karma Mishra, Gyan Mishra, but really, what is Bhakti? Understand that and follow that. And what is your shelter for that? Ashray Tattva. So today is a very auspicious day for us because this is the day of our Ashray Tattva, our Shri Bhaktivedanta Bhami Goswami Maharaj, our Shri Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Tirobhava, Avirbhava is like rising and setting of the sun. The sun does not disappear nor appear. The sun is always effulgent. But our perception limits it, our knowledge of it. So they have come together, they are eternally friends in that realm and in this realm. And we aspire to always be serving, wherever they may be. Let us be there in some place serving them and understand that they are also here now. Why? Because Guru is Nitya. So Gurudeva is also here now. We should not think Gurudeva's mission is closed shop. Right? Like Advaita Charya from Mahaprabhu, right? Hatibika Chao. So Mahaprabhu left in one way. But is Mahaprabhu left? Adhyapya Selila Kore Kore Rai. Kona Kona Bhagyavan. But we should not have any conception, oh, Guru Padma is something and then there is something more. Oh, Acharyas. No, Guru Padma, all the Acharyas present with him. Acharya Mam Vijamyan, Navamateta. Harichat, Navarta Buddha Suyata Sarva Devama. We don't say, oh, Srila Goswami is gone. Srila Jiva Goswami is gone. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is gone. No, they are present in their Vani, but they are present in their spirit, their Atma, their Vapu Murti, and they are present in their Shishya and their Parampara. So, apologize. But praying to Guru Padma for eternal Ashraya, Das and Das and Das and Das, Vanchakapati Visikivas and Vishab,
Hari Bol. Such a nice offering, full of Siddhanta, full of Tattva. And of course, the definition of Nityalila Pravishta. I remember in one of the lecture, I was there in Mathura Math, Shikeshwarji Gaudiya Math. Gurudev said, no matter how many titles you can put, the name of your Guru. Om Vishnupa, 108, 1008, 1,000,008. All these titles have no meaning if we write Nityalila Pravishta. Means our Gurudev is in Nityalila serving. This is also Nityalila happening here. And he is also serving in Nityalila there. No other title is equivalent to this title, Nityalila Pravishta. But also we heard from Srila Bhaktivinoda Bharati Goswami Maharaj describing sometimes Acharyas, they don't address their Gurudev as Nityalila Pravishta. Nityalila Pravishta means that he's in Golok Vrindavan and he's not present here. But he's everywhere. Sarvabhuta Hidayam Muni Manatosmi. He's in Gaur Leela, in Shwetadeep, and he's also serving Radha Krishna. In one of the incident in Bajor, one devotee asked Srila Gurudev, Gurudev, what is your Swarup in Gaur Leela? And he said this. He pointed out this. So everywhere is Nityalila. Here also is Nityalila. It's just different body maybe. I can't say. So Anadhikar Cheshta. So everywhere is Nityalila. Eternal pastimes. And he's serving eternally. So because he's serving eternally, it's Nityalila. So many prospects of describing this Nityalila. I'm getting so much excited to speak, but we also have program tomorrow. If you know, 3 to 5.
3 to 6.
3 to 7.
3 to 8.
And tonight program is what time? Until 9 o'clock? 9 a.m.?
Yes.
Or p.m.?
Now it's only 7:30.
Now it's 7:30. So until 9 a.m. Anyway, so Padma Devi want to say something. Please come over.
Come.
So she wanted to say something. Come. Tomorrow? Okay. Get more prepared.
Since you had asked me earlier, I was feeling bad since going for this, but you should say something. But
You took the association very seriously. Tomorrow, okay. And Anuradha Devi? What? No?
You can't say no.
I humbly request all devotees to please come tomorrow. Even Jersey devotees. Don't go Jersey, just stay Staten Island tonight and come tomorrow 3 o'clock. 3 to 5. We celebrate this once a year. And this time, with the coordination of so many devotees, it's so nice, huh? All New Jersey devotees, New York devotee, Queens, and Boston also. Some devotees come from Boston. So it's a wonderful idea to celebrate at least these 3 cities together appearance and disappearance of Srila Gurudeva. So now I have 30 minutes.
45.
What we want to hear? So I have two options. One option is the contribution and Siddhanta of Srila Gurudev. One option, A. And B is the disappearance pastime of Srila Gurudev, because I am the witness of that. Whatever devotees they want, I can offer, because we also have tomorrow to speak on this subject.
How about A and B?
Okay. So today and tomorrow also doesn't matter. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु जीवे दया करी सपार्श सधाम सहवतारी अत्यंत दुर्लभ प्रेम कोली वाले दान शिखाओ शरणागति भक्तेर परान. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu descended with all his associates to give Krishna prema. Jiva Dayakuri, to compassion on the jivas. Saparsha Swadham Sahavatari. He descended with all his associates and his dham. And every associate of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself and his dham is so generous. So therefore, what is the purpose of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu coming on this planet? Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prem Pranayate. To give that Krishna Prem, but also there are many other the reasons, but another very important reason, Gurudev said, Jadi Gauranga na haito tabi ki haito keman dharita dev Radhar Mahima Prema Rasasima Jagata Janato ki. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being Krishna, embraced the mood and complexion of Shri Radharani, came only for one prime purpose: to glorify Radharani, to spread the glories of Radharani. What me as Krishna going through after begging or stealing the moods of Radharani and the complexion of Radharani, the entire world can see this. And Mahaprabhu is exhibiting all those symptoms. Because the moods of Radharani is present. What is the purpose of Shri Krishna? 5,000 years back, what is the purpose of Krishna to come in this world and manifest his pastime here? To establish Parkya Bhav, and through Parkya Bhav to establish the glories of Radharani. That's the only the prime purpose of Krishna to come. To spread the glories of Radharani, and that's why how it can be spread out with performing this Parkya Leela, the Paramal mood. And that's the same purpose of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Holding that mood of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all Gaudiya Acharyas, Shad Goswamis, they revealed the mood of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And amongst those Shad Goswamis, prominent Shri Rupa Goswami, who understood the mood of Mahaprabhu. When Mahaprabhu is uttering that verse, Gurudev always used to say on this disappearance of Rupa Goswami Park in conference in Vrindavan. When Mahaprabhu is uttering this verse from Sahitya, Ya Komra Hara, only two personalities understood the mood of Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu was speaking from Kavya Prakash. But Swarup Damodar Goswami and Rup Goswami, because there is a tadatme, oneness with Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Rup Goswami has tadatme, oneness with Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because Priya Sarupe, Daita Sarupe, Prem Sarupe, Sahaj Rupe. Shri Rup Goswami is the embodiment of the form of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So tadatme means, for everyone to understand, tadatme means like an iron bar. If you put the iron bar in the fire for hours, the iron bar also take the same qualities of fire. That's called tadatme, oneness. You know? So, the 6 Goswamis, and prominent among 6 Goswamis, Sri Rupa Goswami Pad, who established the Manobhishtam of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Manobhisht Sthapitam Yen Bhutale, who established the inner heart desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what is that desire? Parikya Bhav. Therefore, in the writings of Sri Rupa Goswami Pad, what we find? Parikya Bhav. Lalit Madhav, Vidant Madhav, Parikya Bhav. And following Sri Rupa Goswami Pad, all other acharyas, his the other Goswamis, and followers of Sri Rupa Goswami, Rupanugas, they also established the Parikya Bhava. Everything was there, the literature was there. The moods and sentiments was established. But 3 Prabhus in Gaudiya Itihas, in the history of Gaudiya, Narottam, Shaman and Srinivas Prabhu, they extensively preached this through their songs and through their writings and their commentaries. Srinivas Acharya Prabhu commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam, Rasik commentary. Narottam Thakur's songs, full of all Ras Vichar and Tat Vichar. These 3 Prabhutrayas extensively preached this mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the dhara, the stream of Sri Rupa Goswami Pad. And then Gaur Shakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Variety. Who is that? Namo Bhakti Vinodaya. Shri Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the Saptam Goswami, the 7th Goswami, he hold in his container that moods, those moods of the Goswamis. And therefore he wrote that. Those moods in his writings and in his songs, more than 100 songs. The moods are there. So what we getting from the Guru Parampara is the sentiments, is the moods which are so high and dense, which is not ordinary in nature. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he presented to this world a great personality. That's the introduction of Srila Gurudeva. It has so much significance. I'm coming to this point. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, the founder of Sri Gaudiya Math, took this responsibility of preaching not only the moods of Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur, but entire Guru Parampara, especially Sri Rupa Goswami Pada. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada's favorite was Srila Rupa Goswami, Sri Rupa Manjari. And therefore, without any compromising with any other Siddhanta, he boldly, fearlessly, he preached the Gaudiya Siddhanta. पृथ्वी ते धर्म नामे जो तो कथा चले भागवत करे वही पूर्ण चले. On the name of dharma, whatever philosophies are prevailing in the entire world, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, is all deceit, just cheating propensity. That's Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Very bold statement. And therefore, not only statement, he used to lament saying, he stayed in this world almost 64 years. And lamenting, he said, I didn't accomplish the purpose I came in this material world. My whole time spent in cutting jungles, explaining, telling people, making awareness amongst people, telling, this is not bhakti, 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 this is not bhakti. Because there were so many philosophies going on. It's all cheating. Manodharma. The dharma of the body, the dharma of the mind, that's all. And people considering this is the best religion. So this is not bhakti, this is not bhakti, this is not bhakti. All those Mayavad arguments and Jativad arguments, Brahman can only do bhakti, can only initiate. So cutting jungles, cutting jungles, cutting jungles. But a great Acharya, born 1921 in India, the state of Bihar, at Tiwaripur, to hold this legacy of the entire Guru Parampara all the way from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu's Manobhish, Krishna's Manobhish, the inner desire of Krishna, the desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the inner desire of Shri Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Jiv Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Narottam Shaman Srinivas Prabhu, Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada and his Guru Maharaj Shri Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj. He held this legacy and he said, I'm not going to do what they did and I'm going to actually establish what they wanted to establish. A great responsibility he took on his head. No matter, he said, he used to say, no matter if I get criticized everywhere, I don't mind. Dhurte vrajes tanen tanashushtabhamyam ma dakshni bhav kalanka nilagavaya. How Lalita Sati is addressing to Radharani. Vevichari dushta. Bhagavatam explains how this Vraj Gopis, this Radharani, Vevichari dushta. They are developing this paramar mood, parikya bhav. It's a philosophical point. How to developing this parikya bhav, which is condemned in this material planet and which is praised and highly praised in spiritual world. Because premeva goparamnyam kamyati agvat pratham iti Uddhav ati vanchanti bhagvat priya. Even great personalities like Uddhav, they are longing to get the dust from the lotus feet of Radharani because of their Vevichari Dushta, because of their developing that love with Krishna, establishing Parikya Bhav, the paramar mood. Because the glories of Radharani is present in the establishment of this paramar mood, Parikya Bhav. So Gurudev used to say, the hero of my spiritual life is Vishnu Chakur Thakur, who is not different than the incarnation of Shri Rupa Goswami. I got everything from Vishnu Chakur Thakur and I boldly preach what Vishnu Chakur Thakur wrote and Rupa Goswami wrote. So Gurudev used to say, my hero in spiritual life is Shri Rupa Goswami and Vishnu Chakur Thakur. That doesn't mean he's offending other acharyas or he's not taking his liking, his personal liking is Vishnu Chakur Thakur and Shri Rupa Goswami. Therefore, boldly, without any hesitation, without any restriction, where other acharyas were getting little hesitant and restriction for some reason, which was bona fide in nature, but Gurudev said, I want to give to this world what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to give. And actually he did this. And what is that? The glories of Radharani. Who has ever heard before Gurudev described and explained the three roles of Radharani? Who has ever heard this? No one. What are three roles? कौन सी तीन? Vrishabhanunandani, Radha and Sanjogini Radha and Viyogini Radha. Mind blowing. Radharani is one. What is the difference? That Radharani who went to Kurukshetra to meet Krishna, that Radharani who is in Uddhav Kari lamenting for Krishna, and that Radharani who is performing Ras with Krishna, Radharani is Radharani. No. They're different roles. When Radharani is in Kurukshetra meeting Krishna, Sanyogini Radha, a definition is there. Radharani who is lamenting at Uddhav Kari is Viyogini Radha. And Radharani who is performing Ras with Krishna, where Krishna is Anukul Nayak. Anukul Nayak means submissive to Radharani. That Vrishabhanunandani. Who has ever heard this before? And while describing any topic, Gurudev said, this is my problem. I can't resist without describing the glories of Radharani. He said, maybe Our Guru Parampara starts from Krishna, Brahma, Narad, Ved Vyas, Madhvacharya ji, and then my Gurudev said, I have another Guru Parampara. My Guru Parampara starts from Radharani, Lalita Sakhi, Rupa Manjari. That's my Guru Parampara. And because I'm taking the remnants, he said this. Sometimes Acharyas speak in trance, even though they don't show off, but it comes out. He said, because I've honored their remnants, so I can't resist myself. This is my problem. Always and always describing where his absorption is. And that absorption is always in Radharani. Always. Who has ever described before? We only heard from Srila Gurudeva that there are three kind of ratis. Sadharni rati, Samanjasya rati, and Samartha rati. These great definitions. These are described by Rupa Goswami Pad, but who spread this? Gurudeva. And in his lecture in Bajan and other places, he used to say, I know, I'm saying all these topics. I know, majority of you not even understanding. I know this. But I'm helpless. I have to say this because constantly hearing this, you will get this impression. And even if I go through any criticism, I don't mind because I have a bona fide reason for this. I'm following my acharyas. And he gave example. I'm following the example of acharyas saying, Narhari Seva Mirana Prabhu. Gurudev gave this name. Who's very dear godbrother of Param Gurudev, Shri Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, who used to be known as the mother of Gaudiya Math. He used to take care of all brahmachari sannyasis like his children, even though they are godbrothers. He never used to sleep. All day, serving, and chanting. And the night he used to tie his shikha with a rope to the fan. Because if he falls asleep, he can't sleep. So he used to complete his round. And because of this, he's not taking care of his health, he became very, very sick. Not simply very sick. He was not able to digest anything, even water. He was going through very severe diarrhea. Even cannot hold water. He used to drink water and diarrhea. He was that sick, became so skinny. When Param Gurudev heard this, he approached Narhari Seva. Name Narhari Prabhu, but Narhari Seva Vigraha means the embodiment of Seva, service. The embodiment of service. Can you imagine? This title was given to him. So underline this point. Param Gurudev approached him saying, I'm going to take you to doctor. And he always used to say, no, I don't want to go to see doctor. Because seeing doctor means I have to waste money. And I have no single money to waste on myself. We are already shortage of finances and all money is there to serve the center. Shri Chaitanya Math. Again and again, Param Gurudev requesting. But he is not listening. But seeing his condition, and in that sickness, he was constantly serving body work. Then Param Gurudev got one idea and he approached him saying, Oh Narhari Prabhu, now I understand. Now I understand your mood. You want to show the ideal of renunciation. You want to show to everyone what should be the ideal of renunciation, renunciance. And just by hearing these words of Param Gurudev, he immediately said, please take me to doctor. You understand why he said like that?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why he said like that?
He renounced renunciation.
No.
He doesn't want.
He doesn't want you to get glorified. Because Param Gurudev is saying you are establishing a great renunciation.
And then he will get glorified, he will get name and fame. He didn't want it that. And immediately he said, take me to doctor now. When doctor checked his pulse, this is Gurudev saying. When doctor checked his pulse and he said, oh, I got the point. His intestines are very weak. My recommendation, make him drink ghee. And Param Gurudev was shocked. What are you saying? He can't digest water and you're asking him to drink ghee. He said, I have one formula. Follow this. I'm guaranteeing you will be fine. I know when he's going to drink ghee, there will be diarrhea. But that ghee is going to give strength to the intestines. In the beginning it's going to be diarrhea, but later intestines becomes very strong because the ghee. That was his formula and really worked. He really worked like that. He became healthy again. Gurudev said, what I'm preaching, I'm following my acharyas. I know you will not understand what I'm saying. I know I'm speaking high topic. Maybe one or two may understand, but I know majority of you will not able to understand. But this is acting like a ghee. It's making you strong. Your intestines, your capacity, your qualification enhance more. You're getting more and more and more and more. That's the formula of Gurudev. How tricky. So therefore, without any hesitation, and you ask anyone in the entire world, what Gurudev preached? Radha Dasya. Gurudev said, even though the jiva is very minute, but the potency in jiva is so high, can achieve the highest goal, and the highest goal is nothing else, Radha Dasya. Even Gurudev asked his disciple in Delhi, if I bless you right away, I can give you the residence in Vaikuntha. Would you like to go? The associate of Narayan, immediately, if I give you blessing. And she replied, no. Then what? She said, I only want Radha Dasya. Even though, we are just like children, small babies, we don't know what this means, Radha Dasya. And it's so easy to say no to Narayan or to Ram. It's not easy, Baba. If Lord Narayan appeared, you see the beauty, you get captivated. Because we don't know the importance of Vaikuntha, we don't know the importance of Saket, Ayodhya Dham. But when we get the importance, when we see the beauty of Lord Ram, oh, it's so difficult. And what to speak of the highest goal, Radha Dasyam, where Krishna is submissive to Radharani. That's the Gaudiya Siddhanta, the predominance of Asya Vigraha over Vishya Vigraha, the subject of worship over the object of worship. And this is seen, the mood of Acharya is seen in their movements. So not only in his lectures we can see where the absorption of Gurudev is, but also his establishments. You see, what he established in Vrindavan, Rup Sanatan Gaudiya Mahaprabhu Radha Krishna. But besides Mahaprabhu Radha Krishna, who else is there? Vrinda Devi. When he established Durvasa Gaudiya Math, Mahaprabhu Radha Krishna and Jamuna Maharani. When he established Sri Giridhari Gaudiya Math in Govardhan, Mahaprabhu Radha Krishna and Giriraj. One can only get entrance to Radha Krishna pastime with the mercy of Vrinda Devi, Jamuna Maharani and Giriraj Govardhan. What is this meaning? Asya Vigraha. Vrinda Devi is Asya Vigraha. Jamuna Maharani is Asya Vigraha. And Giriraj Govardhan is Haridas Varjaya, the best amongst Haridas. So predominance of Asya Vigraha over Vishnu Vigraha to achieve the loving service of divine couple Vishnu Vigraha, Radha and Krishna. Without the shelter of Vrinda Devi and Jamuna Maharani, Giriraj Govardhan, not possible. And if they are pleased with us, immediately they can uplift us and we can get entrance into that domain with their mercy. See how the mood of, not only in words and lectures and preaching, but also in his actions. In actions. Vrinda Devi, by the mercy of Vrinda Devi, immediately, with the mercy of Jamna Maharani, immediately, the whole process gets accelerated. And Sir Abhish Pradata, Shri Giraj Govardhan, immediately can give us entrance into that domain, service of Radha and Krishna. And that's why this is Gaudiya Siddhanta, because Narottam Thakur established this. Narottam Thakur established this. Shri Rupa Manjari Pada Sei Mora Sampada Sei Mora Bhaja Na Bhujana. Oh, Shri Rupa Manjari Pada Sei Mora Sampada. My only wealth is the lotus feet of Shri Rupa Manjari. Isn't it wrong? It should be the lotus feet of Krishna. Sei Mora, Sei Vrata, Sei Tapa, Sei Mora Mantra Japa. Vrata, fasting, Vrata should be for Krishna, Vishavikraha. Tapa also for Krishna. And Mantra Japa is also for Krishna. Guru Goswami said no. Narottam Thakur said no. Rupa Manjari, the divine lotus feet of Shri Rupa Manjari, Sei Vrata, Sei Japa, Sei Mora Mantra Japa. Sei Mora Vedera Dhara. Anukula Have Vidhi, Sei Pade Hoibe Siddhi. I want to get perfection in the shade of the lotus feet of Shri Rupa Manjari. So Srila Bharati Goswami Maharaj said, just with this song of Shri Narottam Thakur, what is establishing? The superiority of subject of worship, Asya Vigraha. This is Gaudiya line. If we deviate from this line, we cannot catch that our Guru Parampara. We cannot get to know or achieve our goal. When Shri Rupa Manjari sanctioned, when Shri Rupa Manjari allowed one to get entrance, only one can get entrance. There is no other way out. There is no shortcuts. So every Acharya, Shri Gurudev's words, every Acharya only wants what? Rup Raghunath Pade Jaharash Chaitanya Chaitamrit Kahi Krishnadas. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who showered this world with three nectars. What three nectars? Krishna Karana, Chaitanya Charitamrit, the nectar of the pastimes of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Govind Nilamrit, the nectar of the pastime of Shri Krishna, and the commentary on Krishna Karanamrit by Kaviraj Goswami. Three showers of nectar. Shri Chaitanya Chaitamrit, Kaviraj Goswami is saying in the last end of every chapter, Shri Rup Raghunath Pade Jaharash. My only purpose is to attain what? The divine lotus feet of Shri Rupa Raghunath, Shri Rupa Goswami. So this is our Guru Parampara. And Gurudev boldly he spread this. The moods, the sentiments of Guru Parampara. And Gurudev said, no matter what you do, if you're not following this, then you are not in Gaudiya line.